Hey, so this is a practice that you can do preferably in the morning when the body is really kind of tired and sticky. We move very, very slowly, very, very easily. So grab your mat, grab maybe a pillow or a blanket, and let's get started. So we start in child's pose. We just get a sense of where we are in this day, in this moment. You drop your head to the mat. Your arms could be extended, or you can fold them behind you. Begin the Ujjayi breath. I'm going to move my hands. You begin the Ujjayi breath, where it's like you're blowing out a candle. Really, really, well, actually, not a candle, but you're trying to whisper through the breath. So you constrict the throat like you're whispering. You're fogging up a mirror. And you use that fogging up a mirror, you close the mouth and just breathe through the nose. And you do the same on the inhale. Fill the belly and exhale. We use this breath to help heat the body as we move through the different postures and awaken. And so lots of times, especially in the morning, our joints are still a little sticky from sleeping. Just move the hips back and forth. Subtle movements. And then we slowly raise the hips just a little bit. And you keep wiggling the hips back and forth, and hopefully you've come to all fours. And so lots of times I like to warm up the wrists because particularly in a flow class, like a vinyasa class, we will spend a lot of time on our wrist, and it really actually taxes your wrist a lot, especially if you're new to yoga, new to a flow practice. So what we do is we warm up the hands. I kind of rock back and forth. And really press in through the knuckles of your fingers. And so that allows you to engage your forearms. And you actually feel your forearms on fire, especially if you maybe rock back and forth and maybe try to raise the wrist off the mat. So if you lean forward, you raise the wrist, really press into the palms. You move back and forth. And then I like to also turn the hands to 9 and 3. So again, we're just awakening the wrists, or awakening the hips. And since this mat and this surface is especially hard, I have a cushion underneath my knees. So you turn the palms. Palms are still down. The fingers are actually facing towards you. You just kind of rock back and forth. We're just awakening here. on with the Ujjayi breath. So lots of times in our Ujjayi breath we have, in a yoga class particularly, we like to make a lot of noise. It's really not necessary. Ujjayi breath, in order for not to restrict the throat, it should be audible only to you. So I also like to put a little bit of tension in my feet. So I tuck the toes and just kind of rock back and forth. The knees will open a little bit. We're going to open up the knees a little bit more in a second. Again, we're just awakening some of the joints, the major joints that we're working with. The shoulders start opening a little bit. Okay. So the best as possible, we want to raise the hips, tuck the toes. There goes the mat. And just walk your feet to your hands. And then we'll wake the hips up a little bit more. We bend each knee as we just kind of sway the hips side to side. So I like this a lot. Especially if you're a runner, you feel the IT band starting to get a little bit of stroking here. Your IT band actually, you don't want to stretch it as much as you want to stretch the muscles around it, because it gets tense because the muscles around them get tense. Kind of look at those today. And so place your hands, so you bend your knees a little bit or a lot. So place your hands on your shins. If they reach the floor, that's fine. I like to get a little bit of cat and cow here. And so the cat is you raise the back towards the sky. Engage your core just a little bit. And then exhale. Cow, I don't know how this is called a cow, but anyway, so you curl the spine the opposite direction, raise the chin. So that this part of the spine is going to raise up in the cat. And then exhale, cow. So the belly button presses down. Open the shoulders. Inhale, cat. Shoulders, internal rotation. And exhale, cow. Shoulders, external rotation, just a little bit. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. So you can open the sternum just a little bit. We're going to open up a lot in a second. Okay, so let's find the spine to be neutral. Okay, so natural curves in your lower back. And see if you can extend the spine straight as possible. You want to keep a soft bend in the knees, a little bit or a lot. And what I like to do is I like to press the hips away. So the top of the hips, kind of pressing away, and then the crown of the head, that's going to move forward. So see if you can get some decompression out of the spine here. Your core is going to engage the pelvis, the top of the pelvis. It's going to tilt back just a little bit, not too much. Typically in forward bench, you want the pelvis to rock forward, the top of the pelvis to rock forward. This way, you just want to tilt it back just a little bit, not too much. See if we can get some extension here. And see if we can engage the core as we come up to standing slowly. All right. So I know this is probably going to cut the top of my head off in this camera shot. So let's find a steady stance here and open up the arms to the side, your palms facing up. So this is an external shoulder rotation. So this might feel good, really good here. Maybe not, but So see if we can tilt the top of the pelvis back just a little bit. Open the chest. So raise the hands a little bit higher, a little bit less than 10 to 2. See if we can open up the chest a little bit here. So the pelvis still tilts back just a little bit. And then inhale, come to straight, arms up overhead, and we're going to start a flow here. So let's swan dive. Love the early traffic noise here in Philadelphia. So let's inhale. Let's just get a straight spine here, best as possible. Bend the knees if you need to. I always need to. And see if we can get some decompression in the spine. And then exhale, bend the knees. Put the hands onto the ground. Let's step the right foot back. So bend the knee a lot so it reaches to the ground. And then let's just get some opening into the knee. So the knee is a lever. So you want to make sure that you're not trying to make the knee a ball and socket joint. That's your hip. So just kind of rock back and forth. And you can also just rock the hips back. So the knee is kind of still stable, but the hips are rocking back and forth. And just get some movement into the knee here, keeping in with the movement to the hip. So your knee can, your foot can be tucked, or it can be, you can put the toes touching the mat, pressing into the mat. It's up to you. I find that tucking the toes onto the mat is a little bit more stable, but there's times that we don't tuck our toes. We're going to do that in a minute. So then plant the hands again and bring the left foot back behind you. Let's come into a child's pose. So it's drop the hips. So your hips might not come all the way down to your heels. That's fine. We're just going to use this as a transition. Then open the shoulders, move the chest forward into a chest down position. So then we're going to do a cobra. So lots of times we use the hands to bring up cobra. That's basically just a push-up. So you want to scoot the hips back just a little bit, and then your hands are just kind of below your, well below your underarms, but just kind of next to your ribs. Your shoulders are opening, and then your collarbones, see if you can touch your collarbones behind you. So that way it's an opening here. And the top of the pelvis this time is still going to try to tilt back. It's not going to be totally tilting back, but we want to engage the core here. So the belly lifts. So really think about the pelvis tilting back. So rocking back just a little bit. And then raise the chest off the mat. So the top of the hips, the top of the thighs are pressing down and helping you raise up your chest, and then come on down. Let's do it again. So the top of the pelvis, try to tilt it back and raise up. And then come back down. So even if it's a smaller lift than you're used to, it's better to not dig into the lower back. So if anything, just press the butt back. You can use your hands. And then come on down. So you feel that action in the core as well as strengthening the back. So let's press back into our tabletop position. And so now we will, best as possible, flop the right foot forward. So we're leading with the right this time. So do the same thing. Just kind of move the hip and move the knee back and forth. Keep it the Ujjayi breath. You can wiggle the hip side to side. So again, the hip is a ball and socket joint, so it's got a little bit of a 360 movement, but the knee does not. So you never want to try to move the knee out of its joint. Even though if your muscles are weak, sometimes the joint tries to do that. So let's keep moving. Just be very mindful of the movement. Just notice any little going in the joints. Sometimes the muscles will do a little cricking. So tuck the back toes, push off with the back foot, and come into a forward fold. Sometimes it might be a little struggle whatever time the morning is, or depending upon how sticky you are. And just let's do that swaying again. Just get a sense of how the body is warming up just a little bit. So let's inhale. Let's find this halfway lift. So again, the pelvis is going to tilt back just a little bit, not too much. And that way we're engaging the core. Thank you, truck. And then see if you can press the thighs back, extension through the spine. See if your belly can come up. So you're engaging your core just a little bit. Knees are going to be soft. And let's use the core to kind of bring us up. Let's find the opening again. A little popping on my joints. So open up the chest. Raise the arms to the sky. So find the external shoulder rotation. Open the chest. Find the sternum to the sky. Again, the top of the pelvis is moving back. And then swan dive forward. We're going to move the left leg. So we're going to add to our sequence. So let's step the left foot back, knee down. So now this is going to be a little bit more challenging. So you can keep the toe tucked, or you can untuck it. And we'll come into a upright position. And so what I like to do is I like to press my right knee away with my hands. And so try to get a straight line between your shoulder, your hip, and the mat. So try to get a straight line, 45-degree angle between your thigh and your torso. You find that this might actually engage your core a little bit. So you're reaching from the crown of your head and you're reaching down through your bottom knee. So this is an extension of the spine. And then press into the shin of your left leg. So you'll feel a lot going on in the left psoas, iliopsoas. Sorry, just burped. Now raise the left arm overhead. Really get a good reach here. And then just a soft bend over to the right. So the right knee is the right hip is cracking back just a little bit. So your hips are still level. They're even as we reach over. So lots of times we like to kick the hip out to the side. Don't want to do that. So the right hip is pulling back, left arm overhead. You also don't want to lean too much into the left hip and kick that out to the side. You want to keep them stable, keep pressing in through the shin of the left leg. So that's why we have our knee down, because this is actually pretty unstable. Okay, so now we're going to place our palms and come into a child's pose. We're going to move through child's pose and then chin down. Just scoop the chest, scoop the chest forward. Come into face down. Scoot the hips back. So let's try to do that cobra again. The top of the hip, the top of the pelvis is tilting back. So inhale, and then exhale, let's come on up. Inhale, exhale, come down. Inhale, exhale, come up. Inhale, exhale, come down. Exhale, come up. Really, really press top of the thigh into the mat. Belly reaching. Exhale, come on down. Press into the palms. Come back through child's pose. Or you can even extend the hips to the sky into a downward facing dog. So, we're reaching through the left now. Left foot forward, right knee down. Come into our upright position. So, untuck the toes of the right foot. Stand strong. Just square your hips. So the right hip is facing the front of your mat. The left hip is drawing back. So it's remaining even. And so try to find the 45-degree angle between the knee and, the knee. This is all 90-degree angle, and this is a 90-degree angle. So don't be too concerned about the angles, but these are just the aims so that we can get into the places that we need to. So again, crown of the head is moving up. Feel the top of your pelvis, those bony parts. Try to tilt it back just a little bit. So we're not in a back bend, but stand strong here. Raise the arm over the head. Reach. And then tilt over to the right side, left side, like a teapot. So you should feel a lot of stretching into the side body of the right. Press in through the shin of the right leg. Press in through the toe of the left foot, the big toe. So the right leg is really grounding strong into the mat. But the left leg also is doing some work in keeping you stable. And let's come to straight. Both hands down. Untuck the toes of the back foot. And kick up into a forward fold. So let's kick the hips back and forth. So let's inhale. Let's come our halfway lift. Shoulders roll open. See if you can press the tops of the thighs away. Get the extension in the spine. Core is strong. So again, engage your core. Inhale, come to the sky. Open up the chest. And then exhale, swan dive forward. So let's inhale, halfway lift. Core strong. Extension. Exhale, lead with the right foot. This time we're going to have the right knee off the mat. So find a stable distance for your feet. So it might be a lot wider than hip width, maybe not too much wider than that. And what I like to do is I bend my knee. And so come up the way that I did before. So use the hands to press you up into standing. And so you'll feel that activation of that hip here. So we're standing strong here. So let's raise the right arm overhead. Press in through your left big toe, the back foot, left hip pulling back, and extend over to the left. Just a minute. And now open, come onto the back heel, open up into a warrior two. So look down at your front foot, see if you can find your big toe. You come into a warrior two. So alignment is not too important here. It's just a matter of just do you feel stable? So get a feel for the hips being level. So let's open up on the other side. Sweep over on this side. A little bit more extension in the side body. And then come onto the back toes. Come back into your lunge position. Drop the knee. Just find that stillness for a moment. And then we'll come back into our knee down position. Drop the chest. Let's find our cobra. So shoulders back, collarbones. I'm sorry. Shoulder blades. I keep saying collarbones. Shoulder blades touching. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, come on down. Press into the hands. You can tuck the toes, raise the hips into downward facing dog, or you can stay in the child's pose, the knee down position. So however you get there, let's draw the right foot forward. So again, this is the knee up position. If the knee down still feels good for you, it's too much for knee up, stay there with your knee down. Bend the back knee, push your body up to an upright position. So again, you're going to feel a lot of strength through the back leg. So you can extend the leg straight, or you can just keep it bent. Feel the stability here. So the back leg is pressing, the back foot is pressing into the mat, the front foot, the big toe is pressing strong. As we extend, so still find that 45-degree or the 90-degree angle kind of not this morning. So extend and bend over. So this might be a little unstable for you. Just keep the hips steady and strong. Breathe through it. So now let's open up to the left. Ground the back heel, arms perpendicular. And so let's raise the palm to the sky, open up behind you, side bend. It's called reverse warrior, but it sounds kind of silly. let's come into a side bend on the opposite side. And so come onto the back toes, come into your lunge position, steady here. And then bend through the back knee, and then launch into a forward fold. Just twist the legs, twist the hips. So inhale, halfway lift, core strong. Again, you can still use your hands to push the thighs away, extension, use the core, straight spine, raise your arms overhead. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Okay, so last side, doing a little bit more here. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back. Knee up or knee down, your choice. Find a stable distance for your feet. So I like to bend my knee a lot as I grab onto my front thigh, press up. So we're adding on a couple of things here. So raise the arm up overhead and lean to the side. There's an ant crawling on my mat. Lovely. There's two. And open up into warrior. So strong, steady legs. Pushing through the outside of your left leg, your left foot. Pressing into the mat. Your front toes. Your big toe is really anchored. Strong. So flip the front palm, open up to the side. Keep the front leg bent. And sweep to the opposite side. Left arm overhead, reaching, finding the extension of the side body to the left. Then come onto the back toes. Place your palms. Bring your knee down and open up the front leg by coming onto the blade of the front foot, the outer blade of the front foot. So you can kind of walk your foot off to the side a little bit, maybe not off to the mat completely. You can extend your front arm just a few, maybe a hand or two's distance to keep you stable. And let's lean onto the left knee a little bit. So you're actually turning a little bit to the side, pressing strong into the front arm, so left arm, and opening up to the side. So this is a good twist, but it also gets a little bit of stretching through the hip. Try not to lean too much into the left shoulder. You're pressing straight. Really dig with your fingers into the mat so your arm is strong. And I like to pull my knee so it's not trying to get out of the joint. So we're opening the hip, not the knee. And so let's close this off. So front foot comes back on squarely onto the mat. Let's extend the legs straight just for a moment. So a little bit of a calf stretch, a little bit of a hamstring stretch. bend again through the front knee. Place your palms, and you can extend into a child's pose, or you can extend into a downward facing dog. And then let's bend the knees, come back into chest down position. So as you notice, like sometimes you bring up your cobra on the inhale, sometimes you bring the cobra up on the exhale. And it's just a variation. So you decide which feels good for you. Because actually if you're really using your core, you need to use the exhale to bring you up. And then inhale and relax. Or you can find the opposite. You find the inhale helps you open up through the front chest. And then exhale, release. It's just your decision. Let's really get a strong cobra here. Let's see if we can hold. So collarbones opening, shoulder blades touching behind you. Really open through the chest. See if you can use your hands to push your chest forward. See if that allows a little bit more extension. And then come down. Press into the palms. You can walk through a downward facing dog. You can go through a vinyasa or just come to child's pose. Well, however you get there, let's draw the front foot forward, the front left foot forward. That's what I meant. So find the stable distance of your feet. Bend the back knee and just use your hands to crawl up. So square your hips so you can extend the back knee straight. You can keep the back knee on the ground, but really feel the core pulling you up, keeping you stable. The right arm reaches overhead. We extend over to the left. I always feel a little self-conscious when I record these in public because I'm always a little bit more subdued. I know no one's up this early. Okay, so let's come back, extend to the sky. Let's open up the right leg, right heel onto the mat. Extend the arms straight. Look down at your knee. I just noticed my left knee kind of wobbled forward. So open the leg so it's not totally an external rotation. But you want to make sure that you can see your front big toe. You can even just raise the heel and place it down to make sure that you're activating through the front foot, but you're also placing the back blade of the back foot, the outer blade of the back foot down. Feel strong and steady here. This is a good posture just to hang out in for several minutes because you feel the subtleties of the quad on the front leg, the calf of the back leg. Flip the front palm, extend over, keep the knee bent in the front. Keep breathing, feel the extension. And let's sweep the side. The back leg grounded, back foot grounded, pressing in. And then come onto the back toes. Place the right palm down on the mat. Bring the knee down. Walk the left foot over just a little bit. So you come onto the blade of the left foot And it could be at an angle, and that might feel really, really good. So this is when I'm very, very happy that I have a cushy mat for my right knee, because it's just really, really painful when it's on a hard surface. Just open the chest to the left. Of course, my palm is a little bit forward. Forgot to move it. So move the right palm a little bit forward to keep you stable and keep you pressing away as you come into an easy twist here. It's raining pretty much right now. I mean, it's a definite mist. But that's all right, because the lighting's always better when it's raining. And then twist back into neutral. And let's walk the hands back, extend the knee straight. Let's extend the leg straight. Just get a little bit of a calf stretch, a little bit of a hamstring stretch. And then let's come back into hands and knees. And come into a child's pose, and then you can rest there for a moment. Breathe softly there. Find the middle of your back and see if you can take a breath there. And exhale. So let's walk the hands up, and let's come into a comfortable seat. So again, if you want to sit on a pillow or a blanket or just a bolster or something, that's good. That's fine. And I'm going to face towards you, but your mat can kind of stay this way. So let's find an easy twist here. So let's start with the right leg. So extend the left leg in front of you. And you decide what feels good for you. So your ankle could be here. Your ankles just could be crossed. That's fine. Or your foot can just draw a little bit closer. So just find the best position for your ankle and hold it with your left foot. Just feel, does that feel good? It does. So just sit for a moment. Spine is tall. And then place your left hand onto your right knee and draw it towards you. So extend the spine straight. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, just maybe crawl a little bit over to the right. Just a little bit. So your right hand is really pressing in to keep you tall, to keep you lifted as you just steady twist. So keep pulling the right knee towards you as you twist. So twists are really, really good. Kind of wring out the excess tension. I don't know if it's true or not, but even if you visualize it, maybe it happens. So inhale, extension, exhale, let's unwind. Just So a little bit of a counter twist before we move on to the other side. You always want to do twists really, really slowly, especially if it's early morning for you. So extend the right legs in front of you. Left leg, again, it can just be across. Or you can just bring the foot just as it feels comfortable. So it really is a matter of your own personal comfort level. Some days it's going to be really, really close to you, some days it's not. But you want to really round down, extend the spine straight. So you take the opposite hand and just guide it in towards you. So just feel a little bit of a hip stretch here. So it's a little bit of a hip stretch. So extend the spine straight again. Place the left palm just a little bit behind you. You're not using the palm to pull you deeper into the twist. You're just using it as an anchor. Just inhale, extension. Exhale, twist. So your gaze can be about 2 or 3 feet in front of you. Soft gaze. Inhale, extension. Exhale, unwind. Let's do a brief counter twist. Come on back. And now let's do a version of cobbler's pose. I like to do it a little bit more yin style. So cobbler's pose is actually your heels are touching, your feet are touching. So true cobbler's pose is like you bring your heels really, really close to you. We're going to do a little bit more yin style. So your heels are a little bit more away from you. Again, so if you have a little bit of tension in your lower back, it's best to sit on a pillow or a blanket just to help tilt the top of the pelvis a little bit forward so you're not torquing so much in your lower back. So it's almost like a diamond shape with your knees. Your hips are open. So let's just fall a little forward. So try to use your hands to pull you and extend you. So remember those half forward folds that we did. So there's a little bit of a back bend here. So try to get the top of the pelvis to tilt forward a little bit. So this might be fine for you. This might be great. If that feels great for you, stay here for a moment. And so if you want to move a little bit more, we'll just slowly, mindfully drop forward. So we're leading from the chest and keeping top of the pelvis moving forward. So if your hands kind of run out of room, just keep pulling the chest, the top of the pelvis forward. Try to get the top of your pelvis, just aim for the top of the pelvis to move forward. You're leading with the chest, not the head. And I actually find, this is actually kind of cool because I actually find a little bit of a backward row or a row motion going on with my arms. It's just a little bit of a strength movement for my arms. Not that we're doing that really right now, but I'm always thinking about how I can strengthen using yoga postures. So let's just very softly come back up, just walking the hands, using the hands to guide you. And it's very, very slow because the back is probably pretty tender right now. So let's extend the legs. I hope I have enough room. We're going to do a short shavasana to kind of let ourselves settle down. So you want to roll back onto your back and sit on your thumbs. This is the most important part. You sit on your thumbs, come back. So I'm not going to roll back because it's hard here. So sit on your thumbs because that'll allow, it just allows a little bit more softness into your back as you settle into Shavasana. So we'll do a short Shavasana. And just feel the body drop. Feel the ground beneath you hold you. The ground beneath you works as a prop. So that way you can surrender into the mat. Just feel any sort of tension. So let's remove your thumbs. Let's just do a quick twisting of before we go into a full Shavasana. So remove your thumbs and draw your knees to your chest. And let them fall over to the right. So just kind of a loopy fall. So just kind of lazily fall over to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, draw your knees back, and then over to the left. Just a gentle twist. Breathe air in and out. Draw the knees back into the chest one more time. Squeeze deep. Maybe raise the head, the forehead to the knees. And then slowly release everything back onto the mat. See if you feel a little bit more relaxed. So your arms, palms open, out to the side, maybe off the mat. Your feet kind of flop open. So you're just kind of surrendering to the weight. Lots of times when we get into Shavasana, we don't really feel very, very grounded. And then we come back into another movement, and then we rest again. Some yoga teachings, some yoga practices will have several Shavasanas, so you can integrate as you move throughout. So again, just fall into the mat. Steady surrender. Just imagine floating on a raft, the sun shining on you. And of course, you have SPF 30 on. And you're just kind of opening and allowing the sun to heal you. And you can feel the waves just kind of rocking you steadily, like rocking you to sleep. So with each breath, you just drift even further into stillness. Allow the body to heal. Allowing yourself to be safe in this stillness. So you can remain here if you'd like. You have a few more minutes. Or you can reach your arms overhead, behind you. Your legs extend. You get one more strong stretch. Maybe yawn, even if you don't have to yawn. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Roll your body to either side, it doesn't really matter. To the right or to the left, and come into a fetal position. Just rest here for the moment, because if you get up too quickly, you might feel a little bit dizzy. So this is a transition pose. We're always in a state of transition from one chapter to the next, from one breath to the next. Whatever side you're on, use the top arm to help push you up into sitting. And take one deep breath in. And exhale softly, whisper a sigh out. Deep breath in, slow. Exhale just as slowly, if not more slowly. Sigh it out. So as we come to a close, we honor those who have come before us and passed on their wisdom. And whatever you learned with your body, whatever you learned with your mind, or whatever your spirit, you always pass on the benevolence to someone else. Thank you for joining me this day. Take care.